Imagine how extravagant your life would be if you had more money than Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Bernard Arnault, Gautam Adani, and Bill Gates combined. Well, if you were a king from the Arab world, this would be your reality. Here's what it would be like if you had all that money. You would have the freedom to buy and do anything you can think of. Well, Salman bin Abdul Aziz Al Saud has never had to imagine. He was born a prince of the Arab world. Currently, he is the king of one of the most powerful, richest countries and the head of one of the richest monarchies in the world. I can assure you that it is impossible to prepare you for what I am going to say. The extravagance with which this king spends his money is astounding. Let's discuss a few things before we begin the trillionaire lifestyle of King Salman. It is important for us to be aware of where the trillions come from. King Salman assumed power in 2015 at the age of 79, after his older brother Abdullah, who was the king before, sadly passed away. As a result, Salman inherited control of the House of Saud, the throne of Saudi Arabia, and the state-owned oil company Aramco, which is the primary source of the family's wealth. As a result, the House of Saud has become incredibly wealthy, with a net worth of $1.4 trillion. This immense wealth is shared among the 2,000 members of the royal family, but King Salman himself has direct control over it all. Thanks to this extraordinary wealth, the House of Saud has built 12 magnificent palaces for the occupant of the throne. Among those 12, the three most luxurious are the Al Yamama Palace in Riyadh, the Al Orja Palace, and the luxurious Urga Palace. The inexpressibly magnificent Al Yamama Palace serves as the headquarters of King Salman and is located in the heart of Riyadh, the capital city of Saudi Arabia. It serves as the monarch as both the royal court and the working palace. The exterior of the palace exudes elegance with a blend of tradition and modernity, featuring seamless integration of Arabic design elements such as geometric motifs and pointed arched windows. However, it is the lavish interiors that truly showcase the lavish taste of King Salman. Some of the most impressive features of the palace's interiors include chandeliers that are works of art in themselves, lush intricate carpets, and an abundance of antiques and gold. These elements truly showcase the lavish tastes of King Salman. It is difficult to estimate the cost of the Al Yamama Palace, but it is likely to be in the hundreds of millions. When King Salman tires of this palace's luxury, he is known to retreat to the older and more minimalistic Al Orja Palace, which has fewer modern amenities and features old architecture of Saudi Arabia. Like the Al Yamama Palace, the walls of the Al Orja Palace are also decorated with detailed carvings and vintage black and white photos of Riyadh. While it is not as abundant in gold as the Al Yamama Palace, the Al Orja Palace is one of the oldest palaces in the world and is therefore priceless. If you are seeking a more golden palace, then the Urga Palace serves as a reminder that King Salman has the wealth to create endless copies of the grandeur of the Al Yamama Palace at his pleasure. The Urga Palace is the location of many of King Salman's diplomatic engagements. In 2015, a newly crowned King Salman hosted Barack Obama at the palace. Ladies and gentlemen, in the middle of the room, you can see a golden tissue dispenser. As I mentioned earlier, King Salman does not hold back when it comes to using gold, even for something as mundane as a tissue dispenser. This lavish treatment results in the palace being adorned with gold everywhere. However, do not get too excited yet, as there is more to come. Salvator Mundi is the most expensive painting in history. This magnificent piece was created in the 15th to 16th century by Leonardo da Vinci, one of the greatest Italian Renaissance artists. During 2017, the painting was displayed at exhibitions in Hong Kong, San Francisco, and New York. During its exhibition in New York by Christie's Auction House, it was purchased for $450.3 million by Prince Badr bin Abdullah Al Saud, Saudi Arabia's first Minister of Culture and Governor of the Royal Commission. It is believed that Prince Badr bin Abdullah was acting on behalf of King Salman's son, Mohammed bin Salman, also known as MBS. Salvator Mundi, which means Savior of the World in Latin, depicts a portrait of Jesus Christ holding an orb of non-refracting crystal in his left hand. It is said that the king mounted the painting on the wall of his mega yacht using just one nail. MBS has a penchant for adding an extra layer of glamour to all of his possessions, whether it be a $500 million painting by one of history's most influential figures hanging on his wall, or a layer of gold plating on his already luxurious fleet of cars. One example is his gold-plated Bugatti Veyron Grand Sport, which costs a staggering $12.5 million. The Grand Sport has been recognized as one of the fastest street-legal vehicles in the world, with a top speed of 431 km per hour and a 0 to 100 km per hour acceleration time of 2.5 seconds. Prince Salman's love for luxury vehicles is well known, as demonstrated by his purchase of a gold-plated Lamborghini Aventador SVJ for almost $8 million. This car has a 0 to 100 km per hour acceleration time of 2.8 seconds, which is slightly slower than the acceleration of the King's gold-plated Bugatti Veyron Grand Sport. In addition to the Lamborghini, the King also owns a Rolls-Royce Phantom Drophead Coupe, a Bentley Continental Flying Spur, a Rolls-Royce Phantom Coupe, a Range Rover, and a Mercedes G63 6x6 truck, all adorned with gold for a total cost of $36 million. Even the chairs in these vehicles have gold-embroidered designs. It seems that these cars run on gold rather than gas. If this doesn't fuel your desire for wealth, perhaps the King's fleet of gold-plated jets will. Salman is the owner and operator of 6 jets, in addition to his Grand Official 747-400. These include 2 Boeing 747-200s, a 777-300, and a 7878, and an Airbus A340-200, which is used exclusively by the King. The Royal Boeing 747-400 is a commercial airliner that was custom-made for the King and turned into a floating palace. It is one of the largest passenger aircraft in the world, capable of hosting more than 600 passengers. While there is no official video of the interiors available for security reasons, it is believed to feature everything from a throne room and conference rooms to golden bathrooms and bedrooms. The average cost of a Boeing that size is $100 million, but since the King owns 2 of them, the cost is likely much higher. The remaining 4 planes also feature elegant golden interiors and are likely quite expensive to maintain. It's difficult to say how much all 6 jets would cost to maintain, but it would likely be at least $3 billion annually. This is a small price to pay for the King, considering the cost of his diplomatic trips, which are likely quite extravagant. It is reported that when King Salman traveled to Washington, D.C. on a diplomatic trip in 2014, he booked the entire 222 rooms of the luxurious Four Seasons Hotel and ordered a complete redecorating of the hotel. He requested that everything that wasn't gold be turned to gold, including the tables, mirrors, lamps, and even the hat racks. These gold items were shipped from Saudi Arabia on airplanes. It is not known exactly how much this cost, but it is likely to have been a significant amount. The King also ordered for all the carpets in the hotel to be changed to red, and arrangements were made for the carpet to be placed in the lower parking garage so that the King would not have to touch the bare ground. It is clear that the King is accustomed to a luxurious and lavish lifestyle and is willing to go to great lengths to ensure that his surroundings meet his high standards. It appears that King Salman's diplomatic trips are always characterized by luxury and extravagance. In 2017, he traveled to a number of countries, including Russia, Indonesia, Morocco, and Tokyo. On his trip to Russia, the King had a large entourage of 1,500 people and brought along his own furniture and 1,764 pounds of food. He also had his own golden escalator, which was used to disembark his plane. However, the escalator got stuck halfway through the descent, and the King was forced to use it like everyone else. While it is difficult to estimate how much the golden escalator cost, it is likely to have been a significant sum, given that regular escalators cost around $8,000 per foot, plus maintenance. It seems that the King is willing to go to great lengths to ensure that he and his entourage are comfortable and well accommodated on his trips. In Russia, King Salman booked out both the Ritz-Carlton and the Four Seasons hotels for his entourage of over 1,000 people. To accommodate the King and his entourage, the hotels were forced to cancel other guest reservations and briefly move out permanent residents. The cost of these bookings is said to have been around $3 million, not including room service. It is clear that the King is accustomed to a luxurious and lavish lifestyle and is willing to spend significant sums of money to ensure that he and his entourage are well accommodated on his trips. The cost of King Salman's stay in Russia was estimated to be around $100 million, a shockingly small amount for the king. At the end of his stay in Morocco, the king is said to have spent a similar amount, approximately $100 million, on one of the most expensive accommodations in the country, an undisclosed 74-acre estate. Meanwhile, his entourage occupied 800 rooms in one of Morocco's most opulent hotels, effectively booking out the entire hotel. It is clear that the king is willing to spend any amount of money just to make sure that everything is up to his standard. But that isn't just for himself, it's for his entire entourage. As King Salman prepared for his trip to Tokyo, he realized there would be a luggage issue, so he chartered a $14 million Lockheed C-130 Hercules plane from the Air Force of the Royal Netherlands. The military aircraft was originally designed to transport tanks and other heavy cargo over long distances, but the king modified it to carry his luggage and two Mercedes-Benz S600s, which served as his personal vehicles during his stay. The king also booked over 1,200 rooms at Tokyo's top hotels to accommodate his group and ordered 500 limousines for everyone to travel in. Later, during his trip to France, the king is said to have repeated this routine. Upon King Salman's arrival in Indonesia later that year, 506 tons of his personal cargo were organized and transported in 7 large transport aircraft, including the C-130 Hercules and the Boeing 747s. The king was accompanied by 100 bodyguards, a service that could cost up to $3,500 per hour. It is unsurprising that the king with this much wealth is so heavily guarded. Additionally, he had 25 princes and 10 ministers with him, as well as at least 1,500 other people. The total wealth of the people in his entourage alone was in the tens of billions of dollars, and all of them arrived before the king on 36 flights over a period of 3 weeks. As expected, like every other country he had visited, the king had very luxurious requirements, including a custom toilet built for him inside a mosque he was visiting. It is likely that the toilet was covered in gold. It is not surprising that the king's love for the comfort and luxury of gold has not gone unnoticed by members of the family who have tried to make money from the king's preferences. One notable example involves Prince Al-Walid bin Talal, a nephew of King Salman. He placed an order to transform one of the world's largest and most spacious airliners, the Airbus A380 Super Jumbo, into a private plane of luxury. According to estimates, the project to transform the Airbus A380 Super Jumbo into a private plane of luxury would cost upwards of $485 million and was expected to set a world record in the luxury private plane business. There were plans for wide staircases and elevators that would connect 5 luxury suites, as well as a concert hall, a Turkish bath with marble furnishings, a steam room, a cinema, parking space for luxury cars, and a mosque that would provide electronic mats that automatically turned to face Mecca. The plan was for passengers to enter the plane and forget that they were in a plane. The prince intended to resell the plane to King Salman once he was done, of course for a higher price. Unfortunately, the project to transform the Airbus A380 Super Jumbo into a private plane of luxury never came to fruition. The project stalled and eventually came to an abrupt halt. Today, there is an abandoned A380 parked in a hangar in France, with its interior gutted out, wasting away. It serves as a monument to the unending wealth of the House of Saud and its king, who loves luxury.